Daily Devotion with Pastor Balla for May 26, 2020, from Joshua chapter 11. Only God, no chariots. God does know what he is doing. The question is, do we realize it or not? The kings of the land kept hearing about how God was conquering the land for the people of Israel. Instead of running away or staying put, their reaction was to gather their forces and continue to try to attack Joshua. What is the difference about this new force in chapter 11 than in the previous chapters? Well, the answer was modern warfare, chariots. Let's pick it up with verse 6. And the Lord said to Joshua, "Do not be afraid of them, for tomorrow at this time I will give over all of them, slain, to Israel. You shall hamstring their horses and burn their chariots with fire." But note the temptation. Chariots was a major weapon. It could be used to quickly take the rest of the land, and chariots could move with great speed. So why would God say, burn the chariots? Now comes the question. Would Joshua take the chariots, the modern warfare device of the age? Or would he burn them and listen to what the Lord said? So now the question in Joshua's mind is, do I do this by my own means, or do I just continue to trust in the Lord? I think you kind of know what the answer is. Verse 9. And Joshua did to them just as the Lord had said. He hamstrung their horses and burned their chariots with fire. Joshua listened to the Lord. The Lord was going to give them the land, and if the Lord wanted them to use chariots, then the Lord would have given them chariots to use. Either way, Joshua was going to follow the instructions of the Lord. Actually, God's plan was very similar to the same plan he had in mind with Moses and the people of Israel when they were leaving Egypt with Pharaoh. Let's pick it up with verse 20. For it was the Lord's doing to harden their hearts, that they should come against Israel in battle, in order that they should be devoted to destruction and should receive no mercy but be destroyed, just as the Lord commanded Moses. God hardened the hearts of the enemy, and so they went looking for Joshua. Very similar to God hardening the hearts of Pharaoh during the time of Moses. Again, this made it easier for God to deliver his people out of Egypt. And like Pharaoh, God used their hatred as a means for their own destruction. Joshua listened to God, just as Moses did. Verse 23. So Joshua took the whole land, according to all that the Lord had spoken to Moses, and Joshua gave it for an inheritance to Israel, according to their tribal allotments. And the land had rest from war. The major war was ended. Yeah, there were going to still be some minor conflicts as they went to fill out the land, but God had fulfilled his promise, and the land would even have its rest, besides the people. For us, we need to realize that God does keep his promises, even when it seems like evil is winning the day or ganging up against us. God uses evil actually against itself. St. Paul speaks of it this way in Romans chapter 8, verse 28. And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. Yes, God uses the hard hearts of God's enemies to make it easier for the people of Israel to inherit the land. So, whatever difficulties come upon us, we have to remember what St. Paul reminds us, is that God will use the evil of this world ultimately for our good. We may not always see it at the time when it comes, but in the end, we will see it, especially when we're with Christ in heaven above in paradise. Until that time, we ask God to continue to give us strength each and every day and to continue to trust his promises. Join me again tomorrow as we find that the inheritance is divided up. God's peace and many blessings be with you. Thank you for watching, and please share this video with others. If you have enjoyed these daily devotions, please consider making a donation to Peace Lutheran Church, 24024 West Main Street, Plainfield, Illinois, 60544. Thank you again for watching.